Page 62, Latin sounds. Well, this looks like a mess, don't it? Well, let's just take a look. Because once you understand what's going on in the music, this difficult looking stuff is actually not too bad. It's just sort of difficult. Top of the page, they're introducing you to the primary chords for the key of F major. Remember, I've said before, every key has 3 primary chords. The numbers are the same in every key, 1, the 4, and the 5, 7. We just need to know what they are for F major. Well, in F, you know the scale by now, I hope. So the F is the first one, that's F chord. That's the 1 chord. We've been using that. And then the 4 chord is built on the 4th step. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's here. Remember, we're staying within the key of F major. So the notes we use have to be within the key of F major. That's these, not some other little notes. They're not in F major. These. So we turn it over and put the F on the bottom here. So it's here. Because that's closer to where we were. It's more comfortable to get there. Doesn't have to be that way. We're just doing it now. Then the 5, 7 chord. We'll first do the 5 chord. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a C chord. It's a 1 chord in the key of C. It's a 5 chord in the key of F. Let's get these. Okay. Then we add the 7th. Add another note. Remember, stay in the key of F major, and that's a B flat, not a B natural. So it is a C7 chord, or a 5-7 chord. We simply rearrange it, and instead of this arrangement, we're going to put the E on the, we'll put the C on top. So it's here, put the C on top. Now remember, we don't have to use the two middle notes. We usually use the bottom and top. Don't have to do that either, actually, because here in root position, this position, we use the bottom and top. We don't have to use the 2 middle. We can use either one or neither. Well, when you flip it, it's the same thing. We still want to use the C and the B flat. It's the others we don't need to use. These we need. So either this one, or both, or neither. Got a lot of choices on this. They're using this one because this follows the pattern we've been doing. You have an F chord, and then when you want the 5-7, the bottom note goes down, and you use here. I'm complicating it a little bit, but I want you to understand the pattern because it's the same for every key. No matter what it is, you can figure the notes out, the chords out. So 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1. We'll leave out the 1 chord in the middle of that. See? And that's the primary chords for the key of F. Well, in Latin sounds, that's what we're using, primary chords. That's all these notes combined, that's all they are. In the first measure, it's an F chord. In the second measure, it's the 4 chord or the B flat chord. Next measure, 1 chord again. Second measure, second line, or measure 4. Remember the measure numbers? The little numbers in boxes? It's a 5-7 chord, 1 chord. That's all we're doing. Then we got to deal with this rhythm going on. We got 8th notes all over everywhere. Well, it's a tricky because there's syncopation going on. Now what I'll do, if I'm getting confused, I'm assuming you're more or less confused by now, is I leave out the tied notes and play everything. So I'm going to play all the 8th notes. I'm going to play all the notes, so even the quarter notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You see a pattern? Because once you get that, it starts to make sense. So you get down to the bottom, they change the rhythm on you. The last 2 measures, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay. Then once I can do all that, then I can put the tied notes in. I think playing the second note, but I'm just hanging on to the first one. So it's 1 and 2 and tie. Tie. to gradually speed it up. Once you get the hang of the rhythm of going on, you just speed it up, and then you'll start to feel this pattern. What I don't want you to do, which you probably will do, is you'll wait for me to demonstrate it. Oh, I see how it goes, and then you'll just play what I play. You won't have any understanding of how to figure it out on your own. That's why I don't demo stuff. Figure it out on your own. I'm mean, I can't help it. Now, once you get that down and get rid of the hesitations, then try putting in the articulation. We have accents and staccatos. You have accents on the tied notes. Right there. And a staccato on the quarter note. Like so, and then the last couple measures, it's staccato on the quarter note and then an accent on the very last note. Give the last note a little extra oomph. That's Latin sound. Now, these notes need to go down at the same time, so always be listening for that. Are you really getting them down at the same time? If not, slow it down. Dynamic-wise, it's up to you. You started out a little on the loud side, and the last measure of the second line, you come down to it's like an echo. It's soft. So it's... And then at the last measure, soft. And then at the last line, you're going to crescendo back up to loud. And the last note was staccato accent. That's very loud. Speed-wise, again, you have to decide on the speed you want. Feel it and how fast you think it goes. On the fast side, it would be like the march. 1, 2, 1 and 2 and... So, but you don't have to play it that fast. Maybe that you're not into that speed. You haven't had enough coffee yet. Slow it down. It's up to you on how fast you want to go. I will play it with you very, very slowly to double check these notes and rhythms. The notes shouldn't be a problem using primary chords. It's the rhythms. So let's go really, really, really slow and make sure we have the right rhythms. I'll give us 4 counts. 1 and 2 and ready and go and 1 and